guys, it's Simon. This is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 23rd of March, 2022 to talk about everything that, well, went down tonight on AEW Dynamite. I thought tonight's Dynamite was a pretty good show. I mean, it wasn't all that great or anything, but it was better than good. I thought it was pretty good, better than good, but not great. That's just my opinion. You know, not one of the, I guess you could say, better episodes of AEW Dynamite. So, hey, to each their own. But, cool. This show itself was fun. Give me 1 second. I need to check a message here. Always getting messages. Always getting messages. Okay, so show was good, pretty good, but what the hell are they doing with Thunder Rosa? Like, I know what they're doing, but why'd they do it the way they did? Her first, episode as the champion, and they couldn't have made her look weaker. They couldn't have made her look weaker. That was, I think, the worst thing on the show is what they do with Thunder Rosa. You make her look weak and call her, I don't know how to phrase it. Vicky basically called her an illegal, and then they made her look weak. So it's like, I wouldn't have gone that route. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and Twitter.com/PWU Unlimited. Remember, if you are watching on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out either by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, excuse me, you either got that tiered subscription, or you can use Amazon Prime if you're already paying Amazon for Prime shipping, Prime gaming, not Prime gaming, Prime shipping, or Prime video. But you take that Amazon account, you take that Twitch account, you link them together, bada bing, bada boom. Now you're Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games. Right now, the free games are the biggest free game right now is Madden 22. You also get free stuff for games like Valorant, Fall Guys, and Grand Theft Auto 5. And you also always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you subscribed right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. And remember, it doesn't even have to be your Amazon account. It could be your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your grandma, your grandpa, your auntie, your uncle, your cousin, your sister's boyfriend's brother, your grandpa's brother-in-law's uncle's mom. Yeah, you can go all the way out in the family like that and be like, can I borrow your Amazon account? I just want to link it to my Twitch. Doesn't cost you anything extra if you're already paying Amazon. And I want to support cool creators on Twitch. And there you go, bada bing, bada boom. But on the flip side, if you're watching over on YouTube, you can help us out over there as well with a super chat or a super sticker donation. Remember, all super chats do get read live on the air. And you can hit that join button down below to become a member, a YouTube channel member of the Unlimited Army. In doing so, you get early access to news, early access to podcast episodes, early access to non-news videos, and so much more. But if you say, I don't want to do that because I don't want to support YouTube, I don't want to pay YouTube, I want to pay you, well, you can get all of that at patreon.com/PW Unlimited. But with that, also remember, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy a game. Whether that's a brand new game like Elden Ring or Sifu, whether that's a game that's a decade old now, Grand Theft Auto 5. It came out in 2013 and still getting updates with Grand Theft Auto Online. You can go there and put in creator code PW Unlimited at checkout. Put in the code, you'll be supporting me because I get a kickback, but it doesn't cost you anything extra. Also, remember, if you're playing Rocket League or Fortnite on your PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo Switch, you can put the code in there as well and hit it and still support us. But with that, we're also brought to you by the PCD Hive magazine, which we will be talking about. Actually, PCD Hive magazine and HelloFresh, which we will be talking about in a little bit. But as far as the show does go, AEW Dynamite did kick off CM Punk versus Dax Harwood. And when this match got announced earlier, I was like, what? That's a random match. And I want to read a tweet from Tony Khan. Because are we supposed to believe that coming off of pay-per-view, CM Punk was injured or something? Because Tony Khan sent out this tweet that stated, the AEW fans here in Austin are one of the hottest crowds we have. We have an awesome crew here, and they're excited. I just got the doctor's injury report back, and it came back better than I expected. I'm going to add a big match to tonight's AEW Dynamite card in a few minutes. So that tweet makes you think, oh, someone that's been out injured is coming back tonight. And then they just randomly announce, oh, yeah, it's CM Punk versus Dax Harwood. So were we supposed to think that one of these men have been injured or could have been injured? No. Punk's been out filming Heels Season 2. Ricky Rabies. Love that show. If you haven't seen Heels on Stars, go out of your way to watch it. That show is amazing. That show is amazing. I loved Heels Season 1. Can't wait for Heels Season 2. Stephen Amell as Jack Spade. Alexander Ludwig as Ace Spade. Kelly Berglund as Crystal. And all the other great characters. I mean, they got freaking the legend Mike O'Malley on this show playing the heel promoter. Like, God, this show is so good. Mary McCormick is even on this. Man, Heels, it's so good that I'm probably going to end up going back and rewatching Season 1 just for the hell of it. Not even in anticipation for Season 2. Just because I like Season 1 so much. But CM Punk, Dax Harwood. Neither man could establish any sort of advantage early on until Dax backed Punk to a corner and laid in some chops. Punk came back with a slam and a wrench of his opponent's arm. Dax returned fire with a knee lift. He targeted Punk's neck and midsection with some throws and strikes. The Gun Club were at ringside, and they distracted Dax for some reason. I don't know what this is. This is just, hey, we need to get some guys on TV, so let's throw two random teams together, because this made absolutely no sense. But the Gun Club's in, and they've been doing this thing for a while. The Gun Club's been sitting in the crowd watching different teams. So I don't know what this is all about. But FTR is a team. Dax Harwood did maintain control until Punk avoided a diving headbutt. They did let us know, hey, that's not his MO. He doesn't usually go to the top rope and leave his feet. He traded forearms back and forth, and Punk took Dax down with a drop kick for a 2. They fought on the top rope where Punk sent Dax to the mat and set up for an elbow drop. Dax popped up and crotched Punk over the top turnbuckle before hitting a superplex. He followed up with a diving headbutt for a 2. This time the diving headbutt landed. Punk then blocked a suplex attempt, and both men were sent over the top rope, crashing to the floor. Cash Wheeler came out to support his partner. Back in the ring, Punk landed a diving crossbody for a 2, then locked on the Anaconda Vice immediately out of the cover. Dax rolled it out of it and went for a sharpshooter, but Punk countered, and they cradled each other for some good near falls. Going for that sharpshooter, that's a good tease, because people think that they're going to get Bret Hart as their manager somehow, because of what the Bucks said, I think it was last week, when they're like, oh, you dumped Tully. You can get the best there was as your manager, and that still won't help you. So then Dax tonight doing the sharpshooter, thinking that Bret's coming in. Dax countered a rising knee into a rope rebound power bomb and got a 2 off of it. Punk hit a rising knee strike and called for the GTS, but Dax blocked it and locked on another sharpshooter. Punk transitioned that sharpshooter into an Anaconda Vice. Dax tapped. CM Punk picks up the victory, and after the match, does the I want the belt tease. Does the whole thing like this. I want the belt. I want the belt. Rob Bubba says, what's your favorite show from Heels? What do you mean? Heels is a show, one singular show. Are you asking what's my favorite episode? Honestly, I haven't watched it since it was coming out weekly, so I can't tell you what my favorite episode would be. I'd have to go back and rewatch it, because they got a lot of great episodes, but I'd have to go back and rewatch because I don't remember all the episodes. I do remember there was the one that stands out to me is when Jack had to go to the Florida promotion to save Ace because he thought Ace was being poached or whatever. And then they got into the ring and everything turned into a shoot. That was a really good episode. But the Jericho Appreciation Society were backstage. They showed a photo, excuse me, of John Silver meeting Jericho, and he was what? I think they said 12 years old, and he still hasn't gotten any taller since when he was 12 years old. Jericho put it over as a big moment, but said Silver's not on his level. Garcia said pro wrestlers could never hang with sports entertainers like him. Jericho then addressed Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz. He said, tonight, we're going to future endeavor Silver and Reynolds, just like we future endeavored those guys, Santana, Ortiz, and Eddie Kingston. And I go, they're going so hard into this WWE shit. They're sports entertainers, and they're going to future endeavor guys. Like, no. And I'm going to talk more about this kind of just lame-ass, not, what's the word I'm looking, lazy booking with MJF later. LFA says, Heels was great, but had some nudity I didn't expect. You know what? I didn't expect some of that nudity in Peacemaker as well. John Cena just railing some chick from behind in episode 1, I think it was. Like, that's a show I can't watch with the kids. Peacemaker. Whew. Watched Jackass Forever last night, though, and there's some dicks in that movie, but Peacemaker. Next up, we had a match that I didn't particularly care for at all, that I got bored with. It was the Hardys, Darby Allin, and Sting against Private Party, The Butcher, and the Blade. And like I said, I got so bored during this match. Like, just like at the pay-per-view. Like, what's going on here? Everyone's fighting everywhere. Camera's trying to catch everything. And then eventually I'm just like, fuck it, whatever. I'm over it. Also, do remember, hit up the poll at the top of the chat to let me know what you guys thought of tonight's Dynamite. Did you like it? Was it all right? Or did you not like the show at all? So, Darby started things off by just diving through the ropes at the Butcher. Sting followed this up with barely getting to the top rope. He almost fell off. Like, he's climbing to the top rope and he just starts shaking for a second. And then he's just like, I can't get my balance. I got to jump. And jumping on the other 3 guys at ringside. Jeff Hardy then runs at the Blade, who's standing at the, what's it? So the Blade's standing right along the barricade. Jeff Hardy runs at him, jumps, and they flip over the barricade. Sting then lands a Stinger splash. Darby and the Butcher start fighting into the crowd. They start talking about the previous match. They're fighting up the steps when Andrade would come and attack Darby from behind, whip him with the belt. The referee's like, you're not in this match. Get out of here. And then the announcer's got to let us know, hey, it's no DQ. Andrade helping out here? Fine. Then in a spot that was supposed to look insane, but the way the camera caught it, you could tell it wasn't that bad. The Butcher puts Darby up for a powerbomb. And he kind of like lets him hang, and he swings him against one side of the concrete. He swings him against the other side of the concrete. And then you would think, oh, he's going to powerbomb him off the stairs. And then he kind of just slowly drops him, and Darby just trickles down the stairs. Because your first thought is, so they got something set up where they could throw Darby down the stairs and he's going to crash into something. But no, he doesn't even powerbomb him. Darby kind of just like lets go of Darby. Darby slides off of him, and then he kind of just rolls down the stairs. Doesn't really look that great. Like I said, it was supposed to look like a more insane spot, kind of like when Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page threw Darby down the steps and he actually like tumbled. This one was more like Darby started to like just slide down the steps, and then kind of you could see like he popped his hips to flip himself over once or whatever. It was not that great. It wasn't all that great. This then led to a commercial break. Once back, Matt Hardy, that is, set Isaiah Cassidy up for a side effect on the stage, but was cut off with a low blow by Mark Quinn. Private Party hit a double team side effect off the stage through a table. Out on the concourse, Jeff and Sting were fighting with Butcher and the Blade. Darby showed up to assist, then Jeff set up a crazy tall ladder and climbed onto the top of some sort of a railing before crashing onto the Butcher and the Blade with a swanton through tables. Again, so much going on that my notes are all kinds of like kerfuffled up as well. Back in the ring, Sting fought off Private Party and checked on Matt Hardy. Isaiah then whipped Sting, or whacked Sting, I guess you say, with a steel chair. Sting no-sold it, though, and hulked up. He fought off both members of Private Party, and the Private Party then got the advantage, tried to go for the gin and juice, and as Sting gets launched off the top turnbuckle, he lands, and he grabs, who is it, Mark Quinn, and in trying to grab him into a Scorpion Deathlock, he just falls down. Matt Hardy then grabs Isaiah Cassidy for the Twist of Fate. They both hit their moves, and then Matt pins him for the win. 1, 2, 3. I didn't particularly care for this match. I didn't like the match when they did it at the pay-per-view either, so it's like I already knew going into it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to care for this one. FTR were backstage, and they cut a promo saying that they got problems with the Gun Club. Cash called them the ass boys, so they need to show some respect. They're only here because they're dad. And Dax said, I'm not even going to give them the benefit of calling them ass boys because that's their gimmick. That's the cool thing. No, you're Colton and you're Austin. You're Billy's kids. Next week, we're going to kick your ass on Dynamite. Going forward, we have Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley against the Varsity Blondes, Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. with William Regal on commentary. The Regal's guys attacked right at the bell and immediately beat down both opponents. Pillman escaped to tag Garrison at one point, who Moxley destroyed with a German suplex. Danielson and Moxley continued to dominate through a commercial break. Once back, a released German suplex and a pile driver on Pillman got a near fall. Garrison fired up on Moxley, and the Blondes were able to hit some sort of like a drop kick heart attack type deal and get a 2 off of it. Danielson cut off the run with the Busaku knee, and Moxley hit a paradigm shift before locking on a rear naked choke for the submission victory. After the match, Regal gets down into the ring, and Moxley grabs a mic and said, through it all, the only man whose opinion he cares about was William Regal. He said he's earned the opportunity through blood, sweat, pain, and torture, just like Danielson. The message is for everyone who thinks that they have what it takes to stand beside them. Quote, we ain't giving out no free passes. You need to reach deep down in your soul and find the place where you find pain. He then said something along the lines of, we are the Blackpool Combat Club, and the only way is the hard way. So yeah, these 3 men are now called the Blackpool Combat Club. That's the name. They're a little cute group here. I mean, it's New Japan. Everyone's got to be in some sort of a group or faction. Everyone's got to have a fancy, cute name. Like, how many guys in AEW are not... I want to look this up really fast. AEW roster. How many guys on this roster that we see normally on Dynamite are not in a tag team or a group? Let's see. I'm going through the entire roster here on their website. Here, let me pull this up. Let me pull this up for you guys to see too. I want to do this really fast. Like, who on this roster is not in a group or tag team? We got Aaron Solo, the Factory, Adam Cole, Red Dragon, Paragon, whatever that. He's also with the Bucks. Adam Page. I guess you can kind of say he's by himself, but he does have Dark Order. Alan Angles, Dark Order. Alex Reynolds, Dark Order. Andrade, the Andrade Family Office. And Helico, who technically is in the HFO, but is the hybrid too. Anthony Bones with the Acclaimed. Anthony Ogogo, Factory. Austin and Billy Gunn, the Gun Club. Bobby Fish with Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. Brandon Cutler's with the Young Bucks. I mean, I guess we got Brian Cage is by himself. Brian Pillman Jr.'s in the Varsity Blondes. Brock Anderson, kind of a tag team. He was the Nightmare Family, but that's not a thing anymore. So now he's just a tag team with Lee Anderson, or not Lee Anderson. Lee, what can't I think of his name? Why can't I think of his name? Where is he? I can't even think of his name now. Son of a gun. Let me know in the chat. What is his name again? His tag team partner. Anyways, you got Brody King, who's part of the House of Black. We got Bryan Danielson, who's now part of the Blackpool Combat Club. Buddy Matthews, the House of Black. Cash Wheeler, FTR, and maybe still with the Pinnacle. Jericho and the Jericho Appreciation Society. Christian Cage is with the Tag Team Champions. Jurassic Express. Christopher Daniels, kind of on his own, but not doing too much wrestling. Chuck Taylor, best friends. CM Punk, there's a guy that's by himself. CM Punk. Colt Cabana's the Dark Order. Colton Gunn's the Gun Club. Dan Houston's best friends. Daniel Garcia's the Jericho Appreciation Society. Dante Martin's in the tag team with Top Flight. Darby's with Sting. Darius Martin, Top Flight. Dax Harwood with FTR and maybe the Pinnacle. Dustin's by himself. Eddie Kingston was by himself, but now he's with Santana and Ortiz. Ethan Page is with Dan Lambert in the Men of the Year. Evil Uno, Dark Order. Frankie Kazarian, Fuego, they're by themselves. So there's, what do we got? 4 guys so far by themselves. Griff Garrison, the Varsity Blondes. Hook is Team Taz. Private Party's the AHFO. Jack Evans, technically the AHFO, maybe still, I don't know, Hybrid 2. Hager, Jericho Appreciation Society. If Jake Hager ain't the epitome of stick a guy in the background just to get him on the show, I don't know what he is. Jay Lethal by himself, so we'll put that 5. Jeff Hardy, the Hardys. Angelo Parker by himself. No, Jericho Appreciation Association or Jericho Appreciation Society. Joey Janela, he don't count because he's leaving on May 1st. John Silver, Dark Order. John Moxley, Blackpool Combat Club. Jungle Boy with Jurassic Express and Christian Cage. Keith Lee by himself. There's 6. Kenny Omega. We don't know where his allegiance lines right now. Kip Sabian, he's sitting in the crowd every week with a box on his head. He's doing nothing. Kyle O'Reilly, we know he's Lee Johnson. That's who it is. He's with Brock Anderson. Lance Archer with Dan Lambert in that group. Like, technically, he's part of that group, but not Men of the Year. I don't know. Lee Moriarty by himself, so there's 6, 7. Soros. Luther's part of the Chaos Project. Mark Henry don't wrestle. Marco Stunt. I think he's done with the company, to be honest, just like Joey Janela. Mark Quinn, Private Party, and the AHFO. Matt Hardy with the group. Matt Jackson's in a tag team. Matt Menard's in a tag team. Matt Sydal has Lee Moriarty. Technically, no. You can take Lee Moriarty. Matt Sydal, there's a tag team. Max Caster. Nakazawa's with Don Callis and Kenny Omega. Miro, who we haven't seen in forever, is by himself, so let's put that back up to 7. MJF's got the Pinnacle. Mr. Brody Lee Jr.'s Dark Order. Malachi Black, House of Black. DeCamarato, The Factory. Nick Jackson, we know. Orange Cassidy, we know. Ortiz, Santana Ortiz. Death Triangle. Paul White, he ain't wrestling. Penta. Lucha Bros, Death Triangle. Powerhouse Hobbs, Team Taz. Preston Vance, Dark Order's 10. Peter Avalon is with the, what are they called? What is Peter Avalon's group? That group with Nemeth. He's in a group. QT runs the Factory. Ray Phoenix is in Death Triangle. Ricky Stark's Team Taz. Sammy Guevara, I don't know. I guess there's no more inner circle, so he's by himself. Santana, we know. Cobra Skyman of the Year. Serpentico Chaos Project. Captain Sean Dean, he wrestles a very, 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 what's the word I'm looking for? Not often. So he's nothing. He's not in a group or anything, but he's not a nothing. That's wrong of me to say. But he wrestles so infrequently that it's like, he gets like a match a month on Dark. Sean Spears with the Pinnacle. Sonny Kiss the same with like Sean Dean. Match a month on Dark. But I'll put them as 9 by themselves. Sting, we know Sting. Stu Grayson, we know Stu Grayson with Dark Order. Sting and Darby. So it's Strickland by himself. Blade, Butcher, Boom. Tony Nese by himself. Trent. Wardlow, I guess. Technically, out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20. 5 times 4 plus 2, which would, out of the 102 guys that they have on their roster, 10 of them are not in some sort of a group or tag team. What the hell? It's New Japan. They think they're New Japan, and everyone's got to be in a faction. Wingmen. That's what it is. Thank you guys. Wingmen. They're only on Dark. I don't watch BTE, so I never see them. And half of them actually hold the phone. Hold the phone. As far as the wingmen do go, the only one of them even on the actual roster page is Peter Avalon. No JD Drake. No Ryan Nemeth. No Cesar Bononi on this roster page as well. So it's like, do they even count if they're not quote unquote technically signed in what we were talking about? So, As we move forward, we got MJF. And MJF may have finally crossed that line tonight. Shawn Spears joins him as well, and MJF is out there with security. MJF addresses Wardlow, saying that it was a shame that he couldn't win the TNT Championship last week. He really was going to let Wardlow keep the belt, but it wasn't good enough to beat Scorpio Sky. He then turns his attention briefly to CM Punk. He accused Punk of cheating to win and said that he should wrestle him again at some point. Then he said, but this between us, it's never going to be over until I attend your funeral and piss on your grave. He then takes his attention back to Wardlow. He says, maybe I should call him Pig, because that's all he is. He said he was drowned out. He was then drowned out by a Wardlow chant. And MJF said that if it wasn't for him, these people wouldn't even know who Wardlow is. Wardlow had paid him by costing him the most important match of his life. Then he had the audacity to speak in MJF's ring, on MJF's mic, asking for a release. Fortunately, Wardlow signed a deal with the devil. Crowd then starts chanting Jesus, because he calls himself the devil, right? Calls himself a devil. Crowd starts chanting Jesus. So MJF stops what he's saying and says, and I quote, I'm going to strap Wardlow to a cross just like Jesus. Wow. So the only reason you got money to have a roof over your house with that shank mother of yours is because of me. He said, Wardlow, your life's going to become a living hell. He said that I own you. Wardlow then make his way out, but was stopped by the security detail. MJF said that Wardlow doesn't work for AEW. He works for him, and he's not giving him his quote-unquote release. Actually, instead, he's going to make him sit home and rot until the fans forget who he is. Week after week, month after month, until the fans forget he exists. And I go, are you fucking kidding me with this lazy ass booking that you just got to take another fucking shot at WWE and Vince McMahon? So now MJF is Vince McMahon. You signed your soul to the devil. And Vince's whole thing is, I don't want to use you. Your contract's coming up, so I'm going to make you sit at home for a couple of months so people forget about you before you go somewhere else. What? They literally made the MJF Wardlow storyline. MJF is Vince and Wardlow is every WWE superstar that's asked for a release and doesn't get it because Vince doesn't want them going somewhere else. So he'll make him sit at home instead of actually using him. I'm over it. Like, this shit is so annoying. It's lazy freaking booking. This is lazy ass booking if I've ever seen it. That you've got to literally copy real life WWE stuff. That MJF is Vince and Wardlow is the WWE wrestler. It's basically MJF is Vince and Wardlow is Mustafa Ali. That's what this is. Mustafa Ali goes public saying, I want my release. I've asked for my release. And Vince says, no. But also, I'm not even going to bring you to television. You can go sit at home till we're done with you, till your contract is up. Like, kidding me. I'm going to tweet this out right now. The MJF Wardlow storyline is just real life Vince McMahon, Mustafa Ali. Go public asking for your release. Get denied and not even used. Even though they have to stay with the company, you will still not get used. Are you kidding me? Real life. Is real life Vince McMahon, Mustafa Ali. Go public asking for your release. Get denied, and even though you have to stay with the company, you will still not get used. Are you kidding me? Like it's dumb. Says, I love when people get salty over AEW trolling the drones. It's not that I'm salty, not at all. It's that I really find this lazy. You can't come up with your own storyline. You just got to take from what WWE is doing out in real world. What real life shoot stuff is happening in WWE. You got to take that and turn it into your storyline. Just like I'm over Jericho stuff already. Like last week, I gave it the benefit of the doubt, thinking, this could be good to get Jericho over as a heel. But as soon as he used the line tonight, whoever we beat, we're future endeavoring. That's it. No. I take it easy. Don't get bent out of shape. Hey, it's just, I'm over AEW. They're 3 years old now, almost 3.5 years old. And they can't even resort to coming up with their own great stuff. Half of the shit that they do has to be either a knock, a copy, or a slight at WWE. Like, a knock and a slight, kind of the same thing. But regardless, it's stupid. MJF said, the pinnacle isn't over. Starting next week with FTR, the pinnacle will move up in the world. Spears closed by saying, when you're in the pinnacle, you're always on top. Going forward, best friends were backstage and asked Wheeler Yuta about his interactions with Regal last week. Trent said, you know what? I've never actually liked you anyways. These two guys here, speaking of Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy, they trained you. They let you sleep on their couch, and this is how you're going to repay them? Yuta was like, I never liked you either, Trent. And I never asked to be in this group. He basically is what he said. I never asked to be in this group. So, we'll see where that leads to. Probably going to be Trent versus Wheeler Yuta coming up next week or something. Next up, we had a very good match. It was Adam Cole and Jay Lethal. This match, as some would say. Had a back and forth exchange early on. Lethal hit the lethal combination, but Cole avoided a step-up drop kick. Cole taunted, but was met with an enziguri, followed by repeated suicide dives. Red Dragon appeared on the ramp ahead of a break. Upon return from the break, Lethal went for the figure four, but it was countered into a pinning predicament for a 2. It happened again for 2 more. On the third attempt, Lethal was finally able to take control and lock it on, but Cole eventually reached the ropes. A distraction from Red Dragon allowed Cole to roll up Lethal for a 2, but then Lethal countered the boom into a cutter. Cole reversed the Lethal injection with a super kick in midair, and I love that. Adam Cole is great with the super kick as far as timing things as a counter with the super kick. I really loved it. Followed this up with the Panama Sunrise and got a close near fall off of it. Lethal avoided the boom and rolled Cole up. Red Dragon distracted the official. Cole countered the Lethal injection with a low blow and then lowered the boom. Pick up the victory, so Adam Cole. Yes, he cheats with help from his buddies and a low blow, but he picks up the victory. After the match, Cole grabbed the mic and got serious. Didn't even ask if anyone was ready for story time, which shows you he's serious. Grabs the mic and said that nobody deserves to be AEW World Champion more than him. He said Paige is scared of him because he knows Cole will be the one to take the title from him. He was about to call Paige out, saying that you're scared to come face us 3-on-1. and out would come Paige anyways. Paige whipped all three men with the belt, but then Cole hit a low blow, and they beat Paige down. Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage ran out to make the save. Cole grabbed the belt, ran up off the stage, and left with the AEW World title. We got a video package hyping up this Friday on Rampage, Lance Archer, Dustin Rhodes. And another not-so-good segment. Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti were in the ring. Guevara said that he doesn't have the TNT Championship anymore, but he does have this ring. And this ring means everything to him. And he will always put on a great show when inside of it. All Guevara truly wants is in this business is the fans' appreciation. Well, that was all he wanted until now. Conti said that now they want payback. And that Paige Van Zant is going to get her ass kicked, just like she did her entire MMA career. Out would then come Dan Lambert, the Men of the Year. No American Top Team, but he put them over. Dan Lambert wearing the TNT title. So, like, Scorpio's got one over his shoulder. Dan Lambert's wearing one around his waist. And I go, if they ain't making this belt look so low rent and worthless, I don't know what it is. Having two of the same belt and Dan Lambert wearing one, if that ain't dropping the prestige and the meaning of this belt, whatever. It puts over American Top Team, including Paige, Sky, and Van Zant. He insults Guevara and Conti, saying that they'd never get the match they actually wanted because they want Paige and one of the guys against them too. Guevara came back with some rather gross innuendos. They said, Scorp. He's like, Scorp, you want to fight them? And he's like, no. And him and Ethan Page walk off. And then Dan Lambert that says something about if you got $9.99 from your parents, you can see all the great posts that Paige Van Zant is making. He then kisses the TNT title. And he goes, hey, Dan, I just want to let you know. So yeah, we're living rent-free in your head. But if you knew what Ty and I did with that belt, we're also living in your mouth now as well. Basically insinuated that they fucked wearing the title. They pulled a Paige, the NXT Women's title. Dan Lambert then got grossed out and dropped the belt. He then kind of like barely picked it up and was disgusted, but still walked off with it. So yeah. Basically, Sammy Guevara said him and Ty Conti paged that belt. Paged that belt. If you don't know what I mean, Google Paige, the NXT Women's Championship belt. Maybe you don't want to. I don't know. FTW title is going to be on the line this week. On Rampage, Ricky Starks will be defending against Swerve Strickland. We then got legit Leila Hirsch against Red Velvet. Chris Statlander banned from ringside. And this was, I guess now, what we can call this is the women's wrestling block. Or should I say, the AEW women's division block. Because we got a block of women's division content. 3 segments back to back to back. They go, people complain, the women don't get long enough on the show. So what do? They put them all back to back to back with 2 of the segments not even mattering. And one making your champion look just bad. I will give these women the benefit of the doubt. Leila Hirsch and Red Velvet was better than I expected. Hirsch attacks right at the bell, actually before the bell is. Here's my thing. I got to get this off my chest. I bitch about this with Bianca Belair as well. And some men do this as well. It's like, why do you got to get your intro, why is it such a big deal to get your entrance in? You do your entrance, like Bianca does this all the time. Bianca should be pissed off at times, but no, she's got to skip and whip the hair around and do her dance and slap her ass. And Red Velvet's the same way. She's got to dance around and look all sexy on the ring apron. She's got to and take her eyes off of her opponent. And what happened when you're doing that dance on the ring apron? You got fucking attacked by Leila Hirsch. Like, these people need to stop. Oh, it's all about the entrance. It's all about the entrance. And be like, no. Keep your eyes on your fucking opponent. Eyes on your opponent. Anyways. Again, I did say, though, I liked this match for the most part. It was better than I expected. So, Red Velvet did quickly take control, though, sending Hirsch into the barricade twice. On a third attempt, Hirsch countered it and sent Red Velvet into the barricade. Velvet came back with a step-up Hurricane Rana off the steel steps, though. Back in the ring, Hirsch took control ahead of the break. Once back, Velvet came back with a kick exchange, but Hirsch countered a springboard attempt into a German for a 2. Velvet came back with an Icono Slam for a 2 of her own. Velvet hit the mix kick, but Hirsch rolled out of the ring right before she could take the cover, which was kind of a weird spot because Leila Hirsch was rolling out of the ring, but at the same time, Red Velvet was kind of like rolling her herself. I don't know. She then grabs one of the turnbuckles from under the ring and puts it in the back of her trunks. She then grabs the second turnbuckle, goes to hit her with it. Ref stops her. Ref takes it from her. Ref then goes over. Fucking Bryce Remsburg. This man is a moron. This man is dumb. Bryce Remsburg literally does this. Oh, you almost just hit me with that turnbuckle. I'm going to take it from you. Walk over to the ropes. He then leans out of the ring and goes like this to hand it to whoever's at ringside and just freezes his body. Leila Hirsch then hits Red Velvet with the other turnbuckle. You then see Bryce Remsburg, who's frozen in time, go, okay. Hands off the turnbuckle, turns around, and then runs over to count the pin 1, 2, 3, and then gets this look on her face like, wait, how did you knock her down so good? He literally stood there and froze until he got his cue of, she did the illegal move. You're not looking, now you can look, you can go back to your job. God, make these referees look so stupid. And then he counts the pin, right? And then he gets this look on his face. He goes, wait. He literally, you can see his mouth. He's like, wait, huh? Like, it's not like he found the thing in the ring afterwards. He threw it out. Anyways, after the match, Hirsch attacks again with the cross arm breaker, leading to Chris Statlander run down and sending Leila Hirsch packing. Again, I thought the match was better than expected. Their second of 2 in a row women's segments. Jade Cargill and Smart Mark Sterling backstage. She's about to be 30-0, and she starts saying everything she needs for her big celebration. Jade wants money falling from the sky, confetti, hot exotic dancers, Lamborghinis, green Lamborghinis, and more. She also says she needs outfit fit for a queen. She'll take care of that. Sterling's got the notes. He needs to take care of everything else. And she said something to Shivani about not being invited to this shit or something. I don't know. She used the word shit. Hey, at least she didn't say that bitch show again. That's overplayed. Lineups for the next 2 shows. Rampage this Friday. Lance Archer versus Dustin Rhodes. FTW Championship will be on the line when Ricky Starks defends against Swerve Strickland. Red Dragon will be taking on the Dark Orders 5 and 10. Nyla Rose will be in action. Talk about Nyla Rose in a minute. And Hook receives a certification of accomplishment from QT Marshall. Is this a dark elevation or a BTE thing? Because I have no fucking clue what the hell that even means. A certification of accomplishment from QT Marshall. What? Is he getting his diploma for graduating from the Nightmare Factory school or whatever? I don't know what the hell that means. Next week on Dynamite, it's FTR versus the Gun Club and Darby versus Andrade. Alita Low. And then we just got a horrible segment with Thunder Rosa. This is her first week as the champion, and they just made her look so bad. So we got Tony Schiavone there, and he's like, and I want to introduce you to the new AEW Women's World Champion, Thunder Rosa. Like, Thunder Rosa is here in her adopted state of Texas, and the crowd's going crazy. And before she can even get a word off, excuse me, out comes Vicky Guerrero. She says, hey, this is my state of Texas. You're a fake Texan. So take your fake green card and get out of here. And Thunder Rosa was like, I got my American citizenship in the state of Texas. Right here in the state of Texas. And I'm like, what did she say? She like fumbled her words. And then she gets attacked from behind by Nyla Rose. Guerrero then called Nyla Rose the, quote, true champion of AEW. Nyla Rose then starts wiping the face paint off of Thunder Rosa, licks her hand. I'm like, that stuff you can lick. You can put that face paint in your mouth, whatever. And then she does the whole hand up. This was bad. I get it. You want a new challenger to come and step forward, right? But what happened to the rankings? What is Nyla Rose ranked? We're going to look that up. Nyla Rose ranked. Why can I not find it anymore? Here we go. AEW Nyla Rose is the number 2. Serena Deeb right now is number 1. Serena Deeb is 6-0. Nyla Rose is 5-0. Red Velvet is now, after tonight, 7-1. So before Dynamite, Nyla Rose was number 2. But yeah, this was a disaster. This was distasteful. Basically, Vicky out here calling Thunder Rosa an illegal. Like, what? What? Jeez, no better than when JBL did it to Eddie, her family, her and Eddie's family back in the day, calling them all illegals and whatnot. Like, I saw people say they were offended by that on Twitter. I saw people on Twitter when she's like, take your fake green card. You're not a real Texan, da-da-da-da. I saw people say they were offended by that on Twitter. People on Twitter said that offended them. So, we'll see. Before we get into our main event, I do want to tell you about our sponsors. Sponsors this week, PCD Hive Magazine, HelloFresh. Issue number 1 of the PCD Hive Magazine is available now to purchase digitally. The magazine focuses on mental health, self-love, and features a number of creators in this issue, from writers, poets, artists, and more. Right now, the PCD Hive Magazine, issue number 1, the March edition, is available for just $1. The link in the description below. You can also get it by heading over to PCDhive.com. Again, check out the March edition of the PCD Hive Magazine for just $1. And again, I am part of that team. I am the lead designer for the PCD Hive Magazine. They came to me, said, we got this idea. We want to put this together. We need someone that can do that. Also, I want to say that this podcast is brought to you by, I'll put this link in the chat, HelloFresh. Yes, HelloFresh. Use code POGSE3465 to get up to 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts across your 6 HelloFresh boxes, plus free shipping on your first box at the link in the chat. HelloFresh offers so many recipes to choose from each week to break you out of your recipe rut. HelloFresh offers a wide variety of quick and easy recipes, including 20-minute meals, easy cleanup, and low prep options. HelloFresh's pre-portioned ingredients mean, well, there's less prep and less wasted food. Again, use my code or link in the chat to get 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts across your 6 HelloFresh boxes, and your first box got free shipping. Remus Pickle says, is HelloFresh your food company? Kind of, basically. Basically, you go on HelloFresh's website, you pick the different recipes you want, and they send you all the food already. Maybe not. I haven't done HelloFresh myself, but I know people that have and swear by it. But I think it comes all pre-portioned, and all you got to do is chop it up, follow their recipe, and cook it. And a lot of their recipes are 20 minutes or less. But as we move forward, we got our main event. It's the Jericho Appreciation Society, Jericho and Daniel Garcia, against the Dark Order's John Silver and Alex Reynolds. Early on, Silver out-wrestled Jericho. He took Jericho out with a high kick on the floor. Then he and Reynolds hit a rather absurd tope suicida brainbuster combination on the outside. Dark Order posed, but Jericho kicked the ring steps loudly and then fell over, trying to pull an Eddie Guerrero move to make it look like 10-5 knocked him out. This then led to 10-5 being escorted or ejected from ringside. Reynolds started to come back upon a return from the break, but was cut off. Jericho went for a lion salt, but Reynolds rolled out of the way and reached Silver for one of the big little man's signature hot tags, as they say. Silver took out the other Jericho Appreciation Society members at ringside, but eventually ran into a Jericho codebreaker for a near fall. Garcia got control, but Reynolds got the blind tag and took over Dark Order. And then on commentary, they're like, what would it mean to the AEW tag team division if Jericho and Daniel Garcia picked up the victory here? And they're like, it would disrupt everything in the rankings. And I was like, really? How would it disrupt everything? That's one victory. You got guys in the rankings that are 5-1. How are them being 1-0 going to disrupt the rankings? The lowest ranked guys. I mean, what it's going to do, it's going to move Gun Club to number 1. Because Gun Club is 5-1, ranked number 2. Dark Order, John Silver and Alex Reynolds is number 1 at 5-1. So it would bop them down to number 2. And yeah, that line made no sense where this would disrupt everything in the rankings of the tag team division. No, it really wouldn't. It would just bump the Gun Club up, which then they'll get bumped down next week when they lose to FTR. But anyways, back to the match. Where was I? Reynolds got a blind tag, and the Dark Order hit a great combination of offense, concluded with a jackknife pin for a near fall. Silver took out the other JYS members again, but was caught by Hager, who slammed him on the floor. Back in the ring, Garcia grabbed the official as Jericho struck Reynolds with Floyd the Bat. Garcia then slapped on the Scorpion Deathlock, wrenched it in hard, and picked up the victory. With that, the JYS defeat the Dio Dark Order. Fun match. I thought it was a really entertaining main event. And of course, Jericho and Daniel Garcia pick up the victory. But with that, like I said, I thought the show was all right. Pretty good, not great. There were some things where I was just like, what the hell? And a lot of good wrestling. I will give them that. A lot of good wrestling. But with that, I want to say, now it's time for you guys to let me know what you thought of tonight's show. As we check the polls, also remember you can text in to 510-906-1341. As far as the YouTube poll does, no, the Twitch poll. 67% liked the show, 33% thought it was just all right. As far as the Twitter poll does go, %47 liked the show, 42% thought it was just all right, and 10.5% did not like it. As far as the YouTube poll does go, 71% liked tonight's Dynamite, 23% thought it was just all right, and 7% did not like it. We move over to the text messages, see how many of those we got. Probably just got a couple. Says, who will be Thunder Rosa's first challenger for the AEW Women's World Title? Nyla Rose. Do you think the Pinnacle is getting new member? Who do you think it is? Also, since Hernandez left Impact, do you think maybe we could see LAX and AEW? No. There's no, I see no way, no reason for AEW to sign Hernandez. No disrespect to Hernandez. But most people probably forgot Hernandez was even still in Impact. Which says, I like AEW Dynamite tonight. Who's going for the TBS Championship? AEW Tag Team Championships. They haven't teased anything for the tag title. Well, no. Tag titles, they've been teasing Red Dragon. The TBS title, all they keep saying is, your next match, you'll be 30-0 if you win. You'll be 30-0. You'll be 30-0. Who's the opponent? And she goes, I don't care who the opponent is. I've beaten everybody. I don't care. So it's like, they don't even know. And this person says, who do you think will challenge Hangman for the title of Double or Nothing if Hangman is still champion by them? Either going to be, probably not, but Adam Cole's probably going to get another shot, and then CM Punk. I think maybe CM Punk at the pay-per-view. He keeps doing the motion for the belt thing. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and Twitter.com/PW Unlimited. We'll be back Friday morning for the wrestling wrap-up. Then we're Friday night for Friday Night SmackDown. I'm going to try and stream tomorrow. Might not stream tonight as far as video games do go. I'm busy with work stuff. Tomorrow I may have an engagement I got to get into as far as you guys don't know what I'm doing tomorrow if I actually end up doing it. I'll be tweeting about it, and I might actually do. I got some stuff coming up that I may be doing. You guys will know what it is. You'll see it on my Twitter and stuff. So, with that, have a great night. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. I'll see you next time. Oh.